You always thought that being alone was a physical condition. You thought it was about the empty space in a room or the distance between you and the people who know your real name. But you were wrong. Real isolation isn't about geography. It is about existing in a place where the basic mechanics of reality no longer apply to you. It is your first night in Guangzhou. The humidity is absolute. It wraps around your skin the second you step out of the glass and steel cavern of the Baiyun International Airport. A heavy, wet blanket that smells of wet asphalt, sweet exhaust, and something deeply ancient hiding beneath the concrete. You took Metro Line 3 into the heart of the city, dragging your suitcase through a sea of bodies, a river of humanity moving with a synchronized purpose that you do not understand. Now, you are standing on a street corner in the Tianhe district. It is raining. It is not a violent rain. It is a persistent, misting drizzle that turns the towering metropolis into a blurred watercolor of glowing light. The neon signs, massive, vertical pillars of bright red, electric blue, and harsh emerald green, bleed into the black puddles scattered across the pavement. You look down and see the city reflected at your feet, a parallel universe of light and water. You have been walking for 2 hours. Your legs hold the deep, aching fatigue of a 14-hour flight across the Pacific. Your internal clock is completely shattered. Your body does not know if it is time to sleep, time to wake, or time to simply shut down. But there is one sensation that cuts through the jet lag with absolute clarity. You are starving. It is a hollow, sharp ache in the center of your stomach. You have not eaten anything real since a foil-wrapped tray of airplane food somewhere over the international date line. You need to eat. You need to anchor yourself to this new world with something warm, something physical. You are an experienced traveler, or at least you thought you were. You have your dark blue passport tucked safely into your jacket pocket. You have a carefully folded stack of crisp red 100 yuan notes, precisely Y100 bills, that you exchanged at an exorbitant rate back home. You have an expensive smartphone with a global roaming plan that promised you seamless connectivity across borders. You thought you were prepared. You thought money and technology made you a global citizen. But as you stand under the neon-lit rain of Guangzhou, that illusion is slowly beginning to fracture. You pull your phone from your pocket, shielding the glass screen from the drizzle with your hand. The screen wakes up, casting a pale, cold light on your face. You look at the top right corner. The signal bars are full. It even says 5G, but next to those bars is a tiny, almost mocking symbol indicating that your data is roaming. You open your browser just to check a map, just to find a restaurant with an English menu. You wait. The progress bar inches across the top of the screen, a tiny blue line that stops exactly halfway. You stare at it. The blue line does not move. You refresh the page. The screen goes entirely white, and the loading bar starts again, only to freeze in the exact same spot. You are experiencing the invisible weight of the Great Firewall. Your phone is desperately trying to reach a server in California, sending a signal through a labyrinth of heavily monitored fiber optic cables, only to be caught, inspected, and throttled down to absolute uselessness. You have a signal, but you have no internet. You are physically standing in one of the most technologically advanced cities on Earth, a metropolis of 15 million people, and your device has been reduced to a very expensive piece of illuminated glass. You put the phone back in your pocket. It does not matter, you tell yourself. You do not need a digital map. You are a human being with eyes and money. People have traveled for thousands of years without data plans. You will just find a place, point at what you want, and pay for it. Simple, universal. You turn away from the main avenue and wander down a narrower side street. The towering glass skyscrapers give way to older, denser buildings. The air here is thicker, heavy with the specific, intoxicating aromas of southern China. You smell it before you see it. A rich, heavy cloud of dark soy sauce, slow-simmered beef tallow, and sharp garlic drifts out from an open doorway. The scent hits the back of your throat, and your stomach twists violently in response. You follow the aroma. It is a small, narrow noodle shop. The front window is completely fogged over from the heat of a massive, boiling steel vat of broth resting near the entrance. Through the condensation, you can see silhouettes of people hunched over ceramic bowls, chopsticks moving in rhythmic, practiced motions. The fluorescent lights overhead are harsh and unapologetic, casting a flat, clinical glow over the stainless steel tables. It is perfect. It is real. It is exactly what you need. You push the heavy plastic curtain aside and step out of the rain. The heat inside hits you instantly, melting the damp chill from your jacket. The air is thick with steam, and the loud, rapid-fire cadence of Cantonese and Mandarin blending into a dense wall of sound. Nobody looks up when you enter. In a city this massive, a wet, exhausted foreigner is not a novelty. You are just another body, taking up space. You stand near the entrance for a moment, waiting for a host, waiting for someone to guide you. But no one comes. You watch the locals. A businessman in a damp suit walks in, sits at an empty stool, and immediately pulls out his phone. A young couple in the corner is doing the same. You realize you just need to find a seat. You spot a small empty space at a shared metal table near the back wall. You walk over, your wet shoes squeaking slightly on the slick tile floor. You sit down on the small backless plastic stool. You exhale deeply, letting the tension drop from your shoulders. You made it. You are inside. You are going to eat. You look around the table for a menu. There is no laminated booklet. There is no paper sheet with checkboxes. You look at the walls, expecting to see backlit photos of noodle bowls with numbers next to them. There are a few faded posters of landscapes, but no prices, no text that you can point to. You look back down at the table. Right in front of you, glued securely to the stainless steel surface, is a small black and white square, a QR code. It is no larger than 2 inches wide, a chaotic matrix of pixels protected by a layer of clear scratch tape. You look at the businessman sitting across from you. He has his phone out. He scans the code on his side of the table. Instantly, an interface appears on his screen. His thumb flies across the glass, selecting items, adding them to a digital cart. Within 3 seconds, he presses a button. A tiny green check mark appears on his screen, and he puts the phone face down. He has ordered. He has paid. He is done. You stare at the code in front of you. The modern world has moved on without you. The infrastructure of daily survival here does not rely on paper or speaking or human interaction. It relies entirely on being integrated into an invisible, closed digital ecosystem. WeChat, Alipay. You need the app. You need a Chinese bank account tied to a Chinese ID number, and most importantly, you need data. You pull your phone out of your pocket again. Your hands are slightly damp from the rain. You open your camera. You hover the lens over the 2-inch square. Yellow brackets appear on your screen as the camera recognizes the code. A small link pops up. You press it. Your browser opens. The screen is white. The blue progress bar appears at the top, and it stops. You stare at the screen. The restaurant around you is a symphony of movement and life. Bowls clattering against metal tables, broth boiling, voices carrying over the steam. But you are completely frozen. You wait. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. The screen remains blindingly white. The roaming data provided by your carrier back home is being suffocated. It cannot penetrate the local network to load the mini program. You tilt your phone, holding it higher in the air as if a few inches of elevation will miraculously bypass a nationwide digital firewall. It is a pathetic, desperate gesture. You bring the phone down. You close the browser. You open it again. You scan the code again. White screen, blue bar, nothing. The hunger is no longer just an ache. It is a sharp, localized panic. You are sitting in a restaurant overflowing with food, and you cannot ask for it. You cannot prove that you are a valid participant in this society. You look up. A waitress is moving swiftly between the tables. She is an older woman, perhaps in her late 50s, wearing a stained apron over a thick sweater. She is carrying a tray of empty bowls, her face set in a mask of permanent exhaustion. She stops at your table to wipe down the space next to you. This is your chance. You are going to bypass the code. You're going to use the universal language. You reach into your jacket. Your fingers find the crisp, folded stack of paper money. You pull out a bright red Wi-Fi 100 note. It is beautiful, really. The detailed engraving, the metallic security thread, the stoic face of Mao Zedong. Back home, pulling out a $100 bill commands attention. It solves problems. It opens doors. You hold the red note in your hand. You catch the waitress's eye. She pauses and looks at you. You offer a polite, apologetic smile. You point to the man across from you, who is now eating a steaming bowl of beef noodles. Then you point to yourself. And finally, you extend the Wire 100 note toward her. You are offering her a massive overpayment. A bowl of noodles in a place like this costs maybe 20 yuan. You are holding out 5 times that amount. You are telling her, without words, keep the change. Just bring me the food. She taps exactly on the scratch-covered QR code. She speaks to you in rapid Cantonese. The words wash over you, completely incomprehensible, but the tone is unmistakable. She is telling you to use the system. She is telling you that this is how things are done. You push the Y100 note closer to her. You shake your head, trying to communicate your helplessness. You point to your phone, showing her the white frozen screen. You point to the money again. Please, your eyes say, it is real money. It is cash. She exhales heavily, a sharp breath of pure exasperation. Her shoulders drop, abandoning the argument before it even starts. She does not have the time for this. She does not have a cash register. She has not seen a physical coin or paper bill in this restaurant in months. There is no till to open. There is no change to give. Your physical money is not currency here. It is a liability. It is a piece of dirty paper that she cannot deposit without wasting hours at a physical bank branch. She shakes her head one last time, turning away from you entirely. She picks up her tray and walks quickly toward the kitchen, disappearing behind a cloud of steam. You're left sitting alone at the metal table. The man across from you is loudly slurping his noodles. The broth smells like heaven. You look down at your hand. You are holding a piece of paper that holds the promise of value, backed by a government recognized by the global economy. And it is completely, utterly worthless. You look at the 2-inch black and white square taped to the table. It is just an arrangement of pixels. It has no physical weight. It has no texture. But it holds all the power. It is the gatekeeper, and you do not have the key. You realize with a cold, sinking clarity that no one is going to come back to help you. There is no manager to complain to. There is no manual override. You are an analog ghost haunting a digital machine. You slowly fold the red bill and slide it back into your pocket. You stand up. The legs of the plastic stool scrape loudly against the tile, but no one looks your way. You are already invisible. You turn and walk toward the front of the shop. You push the heavy plastic curtain aside. You step back out into the night. The rain has picked up. It is no longer a mist. It is falling in steady, heavy sheets, washing over the pavement, blurring the neon lights of Guangzhou into violent streaks of red and green. The heat of the restaurant is instantly stripped away from you. The damp chill seeps right back through your jacket, settling deep into your bones. You stand on the sidewalk, surrounded by skyscrapers that touch the clouds, surrounded by 15 million people who are seamlessly navigating this intricate, hyper-connected reality. Millions of digital transactions are flying through the air around you. Invisible data packets authorizing meals, unlocking bicycles, sending messages, sustaining life. And you cannot touch a single piece of it. You start walking down the avenue, your wet shoes hitting the pavement with a heavy, hollow sound. The hunger in your stomach has mutated into something else entirely. It is no longer just a physical need for calories. It is a profound, echoing emptiness. You came all this way. You crossed an ocean. You packed your bags. You bought the tickets. You held on to the arrogant belief that you belonged anywhere you chose to stand. But as you wandered deeper into the glowing, wet labyrinth of the city, staring at the endless rows of closed doors and bright, scanning screens, you understand the truth. You have never been more alone in your entire life. You are a traveler who has lost the ability to travel. You are a consumer who is forbidden to consume. You are a hungry ghost, locked out of the banquet, defeated not by language, not by distance, but by a tiny, silent square of code. That wraps it up for today. The story you just heard is fiction. But if you've ever lived alone in a foreign country, you know that the loneliest moments aren't always about missing the people back home. Sometimes the most profound isolation hits when you realize that all your preparation, all your money, and all your confidence cannot buy you a single bowl of food simply because the world has built a door that does not recognize your face. If this one hit different, drop a comment and tell me which part stayed with you. I've got more stories like this coming, so hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one.